Hey friends, I'm back with another video. Gonna do another one of my duels, but not to the death. A duel to 20% health. That's the rule. And this time, instead of 2 warriors or 2 mage pets, I thought, what would it be like to have a level 40 warrior, human warrior, fighting a level 40 high elf paladin. So that's what we're going to get today. They're both level 40. I click on each of them, hit consider, and you see level 40. Consider again, level 40. And I'll also show you the gear that they have. Very, very similar gear. The gear on the Paladin is all mostly ornate, defiant plate. As you can see, even the shield is ornate, defiant, and there's an ornate knight sword, which this is not dropped, it's crafted by players, along with this AUG is crafted by jewelers. And then I have this AUG, which you just buy it. You could buy it just about in any major city. So that's it. And you know, this player, the Paladin, is only going to have the one sword because of course they can't dual wield, and the shield, right? And they both have the same kind of jewelry, which is compartmented platinum trio jewelry in every slot. The only thing is I only gave each of them one wristband because I like to have the plate graphic. So one arm, one wrist is plate, one wrist is the compartmented platinum trio, and they both have the same kind of gems, more or less. So they're both going to have 160 hit points and 10 AC and 10 plus stat, 4 different stats on their characters. Hit points on the Paladin is 3453. Hit points on the Warrior is 3509. So they're almost the same. Armor class on the Warrior is 445. Armor class on the Paladin is 472. Makes sense because the Paladin has a shield, the Warrior does not, but the Warrior is dual wielding and the Paladin isn't. So they're each going to have, their ups and their downs. The AUGs, they both have the exact same AUGs, more or less. This one just does a 15-point life tap. The Warrior, of course, has 2 of those AUGs. Actually, has 2 ornate long swords, where the Paladin has the ornate knight sword. So I'm not going to get into it too much more. We're just going to let them both fight. They're going to fight to 20% health, because that way I could do another fight after healing them, and we don't have to waste time waiting for resurrection sickness to go away. And so for the first fight, I'll let the Paladin get the first hit. Because, if you watched my other video where I had the 2 warriors dueling, Mira kept winning. So let's let the Paladin get first licks. And we will watch the duel here from the cleric's point of view, because it's nice. It kind of lets you see what's going on more. And that Paladin procs a lot. Paladin is winning by a smidge, like only 3% health right now. And the lead is pretty much gone. I think it might end up being an even battle, which my money would normally be on the the warrior because the warrior's got the 2 weapons. So this kind of is interesting to learn that dual wielding doesn't mean more damage. If you have one sword and a shield, it could be an even match for a warrior that's dual wielding. And they're both proccing on each other, and all I have on is auto attack. So they're just auto-attacking each other. I think if the Paladin was being actually played the way they should be, the Paladin could chain stun the warrior, meaning the warrior wouldn't get many attacks in, and the Paladin could also heal herself, whereas the warrior can't. The warrior would also get extra attacks by using kick, but the Paladin could also get the extra attack of using bash, which also has the opportunity to stun. So maybe for one duel, I might try to flip back and forth between the 2 characters and have the warrior use kick, have the Paladin use bash, have the Paladin use stun a few times. So the Paladin is losing right now by almost 10%, about 8%. They're getting a little far from each other, so I'm gonna bring them a little closer together. So remember, the fight is not to the death, it's at 20%. Whoever gets to 20% first loses. They've got a lot of hit points. They've got, I think they've got decent gear. The jewelry that I make with my enchanter gives them a lot of extra hit points. So it looks like if a Paladin isn't really played, they're just auto attack. It looks like they lose because they're at 35 now. The warrior's at 45, and the Paladin got to do first attack too. So they're proccing those Augs a lot. See, the warrior's got, like, you know, extra opportunity to proc too because there's Augs in each of her weapons. Now, the Paladin's at 26%, so they're probably going to lose. Here's where the Paladin would turn the tide and use either heals or lay on hands, in which case they would have so much more health and be able to wipe out the warrior. They're both at 24% now, though. This is so close, and that's even without using any spells. Oh, Paladin lost. Barely. Barely. That was a crazy victory. It looked like the warrior was, like, really up, but the Paladin, like, somehow leaped ahead. Must have landed a crit or something. You know, let's take a look here. I think the Paladin had, like, every hit was did more damage. Wow, 96 points of damage in one hit. See, that must have been part of where 70 points of damage in one hit. So yeah, the Paladin does some punishing damage with that sword, man. Whereas Mira is mostly doing high 20s, low 30s. It's really kind of interesting to see. So the most damage I see, well, no, that's okay. So that's Mira doing 40 damage. 40 is the highest I see her doing, whereas the Paladin's doing a 54, 96. Yeah, doing a lot more damage with that Knight Sword. So it just really seems to even out. Not to mention, you get some more armor class and you know, blocking ability using a shield. Oh, here's one where oh, the Paladin and Thea are repost. So I'm gonna try another duel. This time I'm going to I'm going to try to flip back and forth between the warrior and the Paladin. So it may be a little dizzying to watch, but I want to let the warrior use kick and the Paladin to use bash and stun. And I think the Paladin would win in that scenario, unless, of course, the 223 magic resist that the warrior has will be just way too much, and they won't end up getting stunned enough to have it matter. So here we go. We'll let the Paladin go first. Well, the warrior did get stunned once so far, because I tried to use kick and it didn't matter. Or it didn't let me use kick because they were stunned. So far, no, the warrior is winning. Look at this. The warrior is kicking the Paladin's ass, even though the Paladin is using spells. I think it's a thing about magic resistance. I'm even letting the Paladin heal herself, but she's still losing. No, I mean, they're actually more like even, closer to even now. Wow, I just spit all over my desk. It's crazy how they're still so evenly matched. See, that's the thing. When the Paladin's trying to heal herself, they're not able to keep attacking. Whereas the Warrior can. So the Warrior's finally starting to lose. So the Warrior is at 20%, or not 20, but 29. Paladin is at 35%. It's still a very close game. I'm just not going to use lay on hands because I feel like that's just way overpowered, especially in a duel. Oh, looks like the Warrior's about to lose. 20%. The Warrior lost. But look, the Paladin only won by 37%. And yeah, I could have maybe spammed heals more, but at the same time, while you're healing yourself, you're not dealing damage. So, yeah, that's a very interesting thing. So, I remember back in the day playing a high health Paladin, and always thinking, oh, why did I pick this? I seem to be so much weaker than everybody, and well, maybe I was because of my gear, but it just seems like if you have basically equal gear to someone else, then it doesn't really matter what class you are as far as like Paladin versus Warrior. And the Paladin, you know, they can root mobs, which is nice in dungeons, because if they start running away and You know, a lot of times they'll run and then they'll start aggroing a lot more different ones. Paladin stuns are great against casters, where you have a caster like a wizard constantly trying to nuke you. And if you could stun them enough, you can potentially, you know, kick their ass because they can't cast spells on you. That would be an interesting match, having a wizard fighting against a paladin and have them both be of the same level. Yeah, and you know, I could always try to challenge strangers to duels, but the reason why I don't like to do that is because it's never going to be an even fight. Someone's going to have an unfair advantage. Like, sure, I could try to find a newbie with really terrible gear and be like, hey, do you want a duel? You know, I'll give you 1,000 plats just for dueling, you know, and then be like, oh, I kicked your ass. I was like, doesn't mean I'm better. It just means I had more money and was able to buy better stuff. You know, that's all it is. Either you have more money or you have a higher level alts that have trade skills that can make better trade skill stuff. It doesn't necessarily make you a better player. It makes you more fortunate, which is sort of like what happens with fucking billionaires today. They're always like, I'm a self-made man. It's like, no. It's like, you rode the fucking way up by all the people who helped you along the way, not to mention nepotism and your fucking filthy rich parents that started you off with like millions of dollars or whatever. Sorry, got sidetracked. I think I'm gonna do one more duel where they're just slugging it out on auto attack, because I'm curious. Let's have them both use two-handed weapons this time. Hopefully I have comparable two-handed weapons for each of them. Okay, so ornate, great sword, versus there we go. Oh. See, that's not really fair. Combine Acrylia two-handed sword. Can that even compare? I thought I had something better. Alright, just for the hell of it, let's do that. Let's do that. So let's put those weapons aside there. So let's do a simple Combine Acrylia two-handed sword, 25 damage, 42 delay, versus a Paladin wielding an ornate greatsword, 24 damage, 33 delay. I think the Paladin's gonna win because, yeah, they're not too dissimilar. The Paladin has extra armor class and hit points. You know, on this sword it's even got Augs on it. But let's, you know, let's see, let's find out. The warrior lost the last one, so we'll let the warrior swing first. And this is just going to be a slugfest to 20%. No spells, nothing. I actually like the graphic a little better on the Combine Acrylia two-hander over the ornate great sword. Oh, the Paladin's already winning. Yes, just procking them Augs. What I'll do is make another video later where Mira has a better two-hander. Wow, Paladin is kicking her butt. 82% Paladin, 77% Warrior. Let's put them a little closer together. Wow. The advantage is, it's funny, like the Paladin was falling behind, the Warrior like leaped ahead for a minute. So that Combine Acrylia great two-hander really isn't that bad. You see it's pretty much holding its own against that ornate greatsword. It's less than it's basically like a 10% lead. That's it. So having a lot of stats on your weapons doesn't necessarily make it great. So this is an important lesson to remember. But I do think the Paladin's going to win this one. I am going to do one other thing before I end this video. I'm going to check their belts and their haste percentage. I want to see if one has more haste than the other. And if that's the case, then this whole contest was a little bit unfair. Paladin has got a good lead now. 46 to 33. I wonder, let's do the show helm, take the show helm off. Hey, I thought I took it off. Oh, I did turn off level of detail. Okay. I was thinking, was the Paladin also a redhead? Oh, I'm almost gonna miss the conclusion of the fight here. Yeah, Mira's gonna lose. Yeah, Mira lost. So 34% to 20%. Interesting. It wasn't a huge difference. So if you get something like a, Combine Acrylia two-hander, you're not doing too bad. That's a pretty good sword. So let's, as I said, let's look at them both. Okay, so the Paladin has a rough combatant's belt with a haste of 18%. And a rough combatant's belt with haste of 18%. So they both had the same amount of haste the whole time. So they didn't really have unfair advantages as far as being able to swing faster. Other than what the weapon delay was. So there we go. I think that was an interesting battle. I definitely did not expect the Paladin to do so well. with the knight's sword, the ornate knight's sword, compared to the two ornate long swords. Now, I wonder if the warrior would win if they instead had used these other ones. Okay, so there's pale platinum longswords, which is damage 12, 24 delay, and it's a 0.5 ratio. Let's see what the knight's sword is. 0.6 ratio. Interesting. So the knight's sword has a better ratio. Why does it have such a better ratio over the ornate longsword? That doesn't make sense to me. I might try to do a similar let me go and look for those. Yeah, because ornate longswords are 0.45. So their ratios suck. So 0.45, 0.5. So these don't have augs though, but let's try dual wielding these two pale platinum long swords, which is usable for levels 35 to 39 and up. And we'll do one last duel, and since the warrior lost, we'll let the warrior go first. Now just remember, the warrior's weapons don't proc, but they did have a better ratio than the two ornate longswords did. They're both even right now. They're both exactly 90. They're both 89. See, the warriors still has a little regen. They both have a little bit of regen from their armor. That ornate defiant has a little regen on each piece. Warrior might jump ahead. No, they're even again. It might be a draw. I guess we'll see. Starting to get a little apart, so I'm going to push them closer together. Tiles and humans are so similar looking, it almost just looks like two sisters having a fight. You stole my fucking boyfriend! You bitch! I didn't steal him, he wanted me. You showed him your tits! I can't help it if they're nice. He shouldn't have looked. Anyway. They're still running even against each other. The warrior has a tiny lead. Let's push them a little closer together. they just kind of naturally get pushed apart because they're smacking the crap out of each other. Warrior's got a little bit of a lead here. %59 to 44. %56% warrior, 36% paladin. A warrior might win this one. Those swords make a difference. Paladin's at 27%, warrior at 49%. I think Paladin's losing this one. Yeah, Paladin's at 21%. One more percent and she's gone. 20%. Paladin loses. So, warrior wins this one. So if you can get your hand on some pale platinum longswords, you know, at level 40, they definitely beat out the ornate knight sword. So now I'm gonna have to try to find something to give to the paladin to give them an advantage and see if they could beat the warrior now. But that was cool. I always enjoy seeing how these things play out, especially when I'm not actively controlling the characters. I'm just letting the randomness of the in-game dice rolls play out and see which weapons are superior to others. But I did find it interesting that the paladin was able to hold her own against the warrior just using a single one-handed sword, while the warrior had two ornate longswords. That was pretty cool. So the ornate knight's sword is equal to the ornate longsword. I personally think the ornate longsword is shitty. I think they should have made that ratio at least 0.5. As we saw, I think it was, I'm looking at the wrong one. Ornate longsword. It's 0.45. It should have been at least a 0.5, and it doesn't look like it was. So, yeah. I mean, sure, it's got the 1 chromatic damage. Technically, I guess it's 11 damage, 22 delay, which would be a 0.5. But I don't know. I don't understand why it wasn't. Why they don't just make it 11/22? Why they give it that 1 chromatic damage, and how much of a difference it makes, and if magic resist can resist that point of chromatic damage. It's just weird to me. So yeah, that was fun. That was interesting. I hope you liked this video. Please remember to like and subscribe and share the videos with friends if you want or something. Help me grow this channel. It would be great. I'll have another experiment for you soon. I post every Sunday at noon, and on occasion randomly throughout the week if I come up with little shorts that I just want to toss out there. Alright, you have a great day and a wonderful tomorrow. See ya.